The surface area of a cube is 54. The volume of that cube is. The surface area of a cube is written as 6 times the area of a face of the cube. Now the face of a cube is always going to be a square, right? A cube is basically made up of square faces. So the side, if it's x, the area of the face is just x squared. So 6x squared is the surface area of a cube. And they're told me that it's 54. So solving for this, 54 divided by 6 is 9. And therefore x squared is 9. That means x is 3. Now the volume of the cube is given by the formula x to the power of 3. And if x is 3, it would be 3 to the power of 3. And that, of course, is 27. So number 14, the answer is D. A large 5 by 5 by 5 cube is formed using 125 small unit cubes. There are 3 central columns, each passing through the small cube at the very center of the large cube, one from top to bottom, one from front to back, one from left to right. All the small cubes that make up these 3 columns are removed. What is the surface area of the resulting solid? So we've got this 5 by 5 cube, and the central column will be either here, it will be here, and it will be here. So those are the spots. And then we're going to basically take out that entire column. So top to bottom, left to right, front to back. And then what's left, we have to calculate the surface area. All right, so the faces, that's pretty straightforward. That's going to be easy. There's 6 faces, and each face will have a surface area of 5 times 5. With this subtracted, which is just a 1 by 1. So that's the easy part. So that's 6 times 25 minus 1, so 6 times 24. Okay. And that is 144. All right, now we got to think about what's inside, and that's a little bit more trickier and not my favorite. It gives me a headache when I have to think about these things. But it's not so bad. When we think about it on the inside, it will be all the way down top to bottom, right? So all the way down top to bottom is 5. But there's one missing in the very middle. If you can visualize that, there'll be one missing in the very middle where this one, this guy, and this guy meet. There'll be one unit cube missing from the very center. So it's actually not 5 down, it's 4 down, because you have to subtract that one in the middle. And there's 4 sides, one on this side, one on that side, one on that side, and one on that side. So there's 4 sides. Each side has a surface area of 4. So 4 times 4. So 4 times 4. But the same story holds true for this and for that. Exactly what I said. So you then have to multiply by 3, because you're going to do the same thing for that, that, and that. So 3 times 4 times 4, what is that? 16 times 3, which is 48. So I have to add this 144 to the 48, and when I do, I get 192. And I believe that's it. Number 20, the answer is E. A larger cube has a volume of 64. A smaller cube has edges that are half the length of the edges of the larger cube. What is the volume of the smaller cube? Well, we have a large cube, so I call it cube large, and then we have a cube small. And then the edge of the small cube, let's just say, is x. So the edge of the large cube is 2x, because they're saying the smaller cube has edges that are half the length of the edges of the larger cube. So now we turn our attention to the volume. The volume, of course, is the edge cubed. So that would be 2x cubed. And that volume is 64. So 2x cubed would be 8x to the power of 3. Solving, we get 64 divided by 8, which is 8. And therefore, x would be 2. So that means this x is 2. If we want to figure out the volume of the smaller cube, that volume of the smaller cube would be x to the power of 3, which is 2 to the power of 3, which is 8. And therefore, number 13, the answer is C. The volume of the rectangular prism shown is 60 centimeters cubed. What is the value of x? Well, the volume is going to be 4 times 5 times x, length times width times height. And they told me that's 60. So this is 20x, and therefore divide through by 20, and you get x is equal to 3. So number 11, the answer is D. 4 identical squares are cut from the corners of the rectangular sheet of cardboard shown. This sheet is then folded along the dotted lines and taped to make a box with an open top. The base of the box measures 5 by 4. The volume of the box is 60 centimeters cubed. What was the area of the original sheet of cardboard? Okay. Well, the volume is going to be length times width times height, correct? And they tell you that is 60. Well, the length and width, they've already told you in the question, are 4 and 5. So length is 5, width is 4, and then we got this h. So solving for h, we get 3. So we now go back and understand that this would be 3 from there to there. And this will also be 3. And so on, right? This is 3, all the way around. You get the point. So from there to there is going to be 3 plus 5 plus 3, which is 11. And then from there to there, it'll be 3 plus 4 plus 3, which is 10. So the area of this cardboard sheet is 11 times 10, which is 110. And therefore, number 16, the answer is B. The volume of a rectangular prism is 30. The length is doubled, width is tripled, the height is divided by 4. The volume of the new prism is. Length times width times height is 30. Now they've taken the length and doubled it, so 2L. They've taken the width and tripled it, 2W, and the height divided by 4. Well, this looks like 2 times 3, which is 6 divided by 4, and then LWH. LWH is 30, so put that in there. So this becomes 6.6 times 30 divided by 4, and that is 45. So number 18, the answer would be E. A triangular prism is placed on a rectangular prism. As shown, the volume of the combined structure is. Let's first figure out the rectangular prism. That's pretty straightforward. It's going to be length times width times height, and our length is 6, width is 4, our height is 2, so that is 48. Now let's concentrate on this triangular prism right on top. So we have triangular prism now, and that one is going to be the area of the triangle, which is 1/2 base times height, times the width of that structure. So let's see here. Base is from here to here. Now they don't label that, but they do label this whole thing as 6, and they tell me that this is 3. So this must be 6 minus 3. So that means the base is 3. The height, which is from top to bottom, they don't give us, but they tell me that this whole thing is 5 and that this is 2. So this height must be 5 minus 2, which is, again, 3. And then the width from there to there is the same as the width from there to there. So that's 4. So we've got 9 times 4 over 2, so it's 9 times 2, which is 18. And now we've got to add them both up. And when you do, you get 48 plus 18, and that is equal to 66. So number 20, the answer is E. A rectangular pool is 6 by 12 by 4. If the pool is half full of water, what is the volume of the water in the pool? So first we need to figure out the full volume, which will be 6 times 12 times 4, and that is equal to 288. Now they're saying the pool is half full, so that means the volume would be 288 divided by 2, which is 144. So number 12, the answer is E.
A cube has edge length of 30. A rectangular solid has edge lengths 20, 30, and L. If the cube and the rectangular solid have equal surface areas, what is the value of L? The cube has a surface area of 6 times the area of one of its faces, which would be 30 times 30. So that's the surface area of the cube. The surface area of that solid is going to be 2 times, let's label this a little bit, L, 30, 20, just makes it a little bit easier to understand. 2 times L times 30 plus 2 times 30 times 20 plus 2 times L times 20. So this is 60L plus 1200 plus 40L. Well, this apparently is equal to that. They tell me that they have equal surface areas. So equate them. And this side here, that's 6 times 30 times 30 is 5400. And then this side becomes 100L plus 1200. And bring the 1200 over and you get 4200 is 100L. And therefore L is equal to 42. So number 17, the answer is C. In the diagram, the rectangular solid has side lengths 1 meter, 20 centimeters, and 50 centimeters. The volume of the solid in cubic centimeters is. Volume is equal to length times width times height. And in any way, it doesn't really matter. The length is 1 meter, which is 100 centimeters. Because remember, we have to get the final answer in cubic centimeters. Width we can write as 50 centimeters, and the height is 20. And if you multiply these 3 numbers together, you get 100,000. And it would be cubic centimeters, like that. So number 11, the answer is D.